which order should you write your essays in for the AP Lang exam? There's sort of two different approaches that I have my students consider, so I'll walk you through both and you can decide which one is better for you. The first approach is for students who feel very strongly that they have one essay type that is weaker than the others. So if this is the case, in general, I would recommend putting your weakest essay last. So let's say that hypothetically, rhetorical analysis is your weakest. Then you could write the essays in the order of synthesis, argument, rhetorical analysis. By the way, my understanding is on Blue Book, there's little boxes at the bottom of the screen that say 1, 2, 3, and you click those to navigate between prompts. If that's incorrect and someone has taken an AP test and it's different, let me know. Most people do start with synthesis just because it's the most time consuming. I have had 1 or 2 students over the years put it last, but usually my students tend to do it first. The other approach is kind of like the test day, it depends on what the prompt is approach. This is typically the approach that my students use if they feel like they're kind of equal at all the essays or if they just feel like certain prompts are harder because of the topic. So what they do is on test day, they click through the topics. So they might say, okay, synthesis is about this, rhetorical analysis, let's say it's a speech about this, and the argument prompt is about this. Then they figure out which one of those they are least excited about or they think they will be least successful with, and they put that one last. So they make the decision on test day. Now, to do that, they're not reading the sources or reading the rhetorical, they're just looking at the prompts itself to figure out the topics. So what this could look like is I've had a couple students say, like, if it's a super old prompt, like from the 1800s for rhetorical, they're like, it's going last. So that would be what they would do on test day, is they would just kind of skim through, see what they're working with, and then decide. The reason why I tend to encourage my students to put the weakest essay last is because, quite frankly, it is not super hard to earn a score of a 120, and stronger writers can usually pretty easily earn a score of a 130, which is what we're aiming for. And so my thought would be that I would rather have my students rush an essay that they feel is their weakest one and still try to gain points from it, as opposed to having to rush their strongest essay. Also, generally speaking, a lot of students do just like to work in order 1, 2, 3 because a lot of students can technically write an argument essay the quickest, so they put that last for that reason.